Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Centering a div in the middle of the screen using Tailwind CSS is quite straightforward and can be achieved through a combination of utility classes. Here's a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this. Step 1, set up your project. If you haven't already set up a project with Tailwind CSS, you can do so by following these steps. 1. Create a new HTML file, example index.html. 2. Include Tailwind CSS in your project. You can do this by adding the following CDN link in the head section of your HTML file. Step 2, create the HTML structure. In your HTML file, set up a basic structure. We'll create a container div that we want to center. Step 3, explanation of the code. 1. Body class attributes. BG Gray 100, sets a light gray background color. Screen, sets the height of the body to 100% of the viewport height. Flex, enables flexbox layout on the body. Item center, vertically centers the flex items, in this case, the div. Justify center, horizontally centers the flex items. 2. Centered div. BG white, sets the background color of the div to white. P6, applies padding of 1.5 rem, 24 px, on all sides. Rounded LG, applies large border radius for rounded corners. Shadow LG, adds a large shadow effect to give the div some depth. 3. Content inside the div. The H1 and P elements are styled to create a nice heading and paragraph inside the centered div. Step 4, preview your work. When you open your HTML file in a web browser, you should see a white box centered both vertically and horizontally on the screen with a heading and a paragraph inside it. Additional notes. You can customize the dimensions of your div by adding more Tailwind utility classes for width, W1/2, max WMD, etc., or height, H48, HAuto, etc. For responsive designs, you can use responsive utility classes, like MDW1/3 for medium screens, to adjust the layout according to screen size. Example with custom width. If you want to give the centered div a specific width, you can modify the div as follows. This will make the div take up 50% of the screen width, but not exceed a maximum width of MD. Conclusion. Using Tailwind CSS, centering a div in the middle of the screen can be accomplished easily with the right combination of utility classes. This approach is responsive and can be tailored to fit various design requirements.